Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome to the video. This time we are doing the Neca 100 Predator figure. This is the Alpha Predator. This is something that is unique and awesome in every single way. There's a lot to kind of talk about here, so hopefully I can round it up in a timely manner. But yeah, I want to start by saying Alpha Predator is perfect. You normally don't hear that from me, but I'm going to say it. Alpha Predator is perfect. Y'all know how I feel about Predator lore, and the fact that they created a Predator lore for him specifically makes him even more awesome. But I gotta honestly say, Neca really went out of their way to create a figure that would not only prove great to what they've done so far and how they've come, but any figure that comes out after this isn't made somewhere near this level of perfection. I gotta honestly say, I'm gonna be a little disappointed because the change of plastic, the joints and articulation, they really did go all out with this. So let's jump into it, because this is probably one of those figures that I gotta say, between the sculpt and the articulation and the overall execution of this figure, I really hope going forward, this is what we get all the time. So yeah, I took off all the main compartments and things like that so we can just get down to the bare nitty gritty of the figure and talk about it and its awesome sculpt. So Neca is known for their sculpting and now the mix of articulation. They give you a nice blend of stuff, and I gotta say, this guy has all the moves. As you can see, between this soft plastic here that they made, it looked like I thought it was going to be tough and he wouldn't be able to move. But this is actually soft plastic. The head is actually an excellent sculpt, and all of his locks are pretty much, they don't stand in his way, which is an excellent choice in my opinion. All the way down to the leg armor and the extra cuts and points that kind of sink in to allow it to seem as seamless as possible. So this is one of those things I gotta say. Oh, also, by the way, well, I wanted to get to it, but I gotta say, there's even a new joint here on the ankle, like a brand new, completely new joint that I don't think a Predator has had before, not one that I know of. And I gotta say, I'm super duper excited to talk about it. So yeah, let's jump into my favorite part, the articulation. So yeah, we have our head articulation, and between all the locks, even the tied up ones, they kind of move willy-nilly, and they won't be able to get in your way, because as you can see here, I'm turning left and right with no issue, zero issues. Looking down, because of the way his mouth is shaped, he can't really look down, but then there's an ab crunch for that. Looking up, actually, he has a great extension for looking up. As you can see here, he can look up with no problem, and tilting his head, even though it may seem a little problematic at first, it actually has zero issues. Now, with the arms and the upper torso, we have a soft plastic here that kind of lends itself, and as well as a short shoulder armor under, so we can get our arm up about this far. But fear not, we actually get a nice turning rotation to allow more room. And you see how here the soft plastic allowed it to move up. So just the level of like care that went into this was actually really nice. Now, as far as the torso, you have a mid-arm cut that allows that middle joint to move, and it's pretty seamless because it's hidden under the wraps, and it's double jointed as well. Mine's is still a rather bit tight, so I'm gonna have to heat that up some more. Mine's is still tight, but he does get that double joint forward, but I don't want to push it in right now. We have our hinge joint, as you can see here, and these are actually made of a new plastic too, because it's allowing it to come out very easy. I don't have any trouble. The same applies for the left arm, and I think my left arm has, yep, my left arm does have a better cut. So if you can rotate it through the armor point, and you can see here, as you can see, double jointed allows it to rotate all the way up. Really nice stuff. Then we have that upper torso, which is going to be something I didn't think was going to be possible. If we look at his ab crunch, we don't have any sort of issues with the ab crunch. Then we can actually tilt side to side, and there is a lower crunch. So the amount of movement you're getting with this guy already is fantastic before we even get to the lower body. This is really fantastic, I gotta honestly say. If anytime your plastic kind of just pops out, it's all soft plastic, so you can just put it right back in motion, and it's pretty seamless. I really like where this is going. As far as the legs go, you can actually come out pretty far. There should be no real issues whatsoever. We have a thigh swivel, which is hidden under all of that. We have a double cut joint. As you can see, he's able to get all the way back here. This is something that I've always wanted in a Predator figure, so I am super duper excited. This can actually rotate too, so there is a knee cut as well. Then we have that brand new joint that I was talking about that is on the ball joint. There's no toe pivot, and I'm actually okay with that because this guy is pretty heavy. So if we're talking about in terms of the crazy movement on a Predator figure, let's just look at the fact that he can do what I'm going to call the Predator kick. Like, not a rider, it's obviously a rider kick, but the fact of the matter is this guy has enough articulation to do this with no problem. This is next level for Neca, and I am glad they're taking it there. I really am going to enjoy this. Even like he can hunch down, like see here, you obviously won't be able to get really far up. But the fact is, you know, you're getting closer to stances like this. You're gonna be able to get stances in the tree. You can sit Indian style, whatever crazy stuff you wanna do right now. Before that would pretty much limit it, is gonna definitely open up more doors for your Predator figures now. You know what I mean? So, as we pose this guy up and make him look pretty good, because he's going to do that all on his own and look pretty cool. I will say this though, be careful because these new joints, and it's really humid in New York. It's about 90 degrees today as I film this. Still haven't got my AC fixed, so he may have some trouble standing, but hopefully that won't be the case. I'm going to try to put him in a power balance stance. Yeah. Nope. I tried, y'all. I tried. So there we go. Right. I also have an uneven dial that I'm using, but it's still on me. I should be able to pose this guy up, right? As we can see here, as I move this guy down, we're going to talk about our accessories. We actually get a nice set of stuff. I may get the names wrong, and that's okay, but I'm going to read it from the box, actually, to make it a little easier. That way I don't get names too far wrong. So we include the Amengi mask, which I'm going to get into in a second. There is a staff, a sickle, bone gauntlets, which are awesome, a bone shuriken, and when I get to that, you'll see, and interchangeable hands. So in order, we have our Amengi mask, which I'm going to get into when we talk about the story, but this actually looks really fantastic, and this adds into the Alpha Predator's lore. This actually fits on his face really well. It's a snap-on piece, so you kind of just fit right under, and it's soft plastic and it fits right on, so it should just pop onto his face with no problem. And if it doesn't, you just got to keep readjusting until it fits, because eventually it will. And it should hang on to his face with no problem. So here we have our Amengi mask on. As you can see right here, there's also a bone belt at his side that they don't really talk about, and that will be for storing your sickle. This really nice sickle. I suggest you do it this way, but there's plenty of other ways. There's going to be a middle point that has a little bit of a bulge that allows it to sit on your bone belt. Keep that in mind. You have your staff, which is made of a softer plastic, so if it falls, it won't break. So it's like Neca is finally heeding all our words about the change of plastic. And it really is making a difference. Here you have your bone gauntlets. This one is going to be for this side, and this one is going to snap on. As you can see here, there's going to be a snappable piece. The reason why that is because in the bone gauntlet for this side, after it snaps in, so I'm going to try to line it up because I can't see this way, right? This one actually can rotate up and down. This is going to be your ancestors version of the retractable blades, right? So when you have your retractable blades, we have on. This one, you just take off the wrist peg and just slide it right on. And we're just going to slide the peg in. This is always makes me nervous on camera doing this kind of stuff. I shouldn't do it, but I do. So this is the part that I hate most. Just kind of make it happen on camera because it always makes me look like a dingus. But yeah, I'm gonna just try to slide that in gently. Nope, doesn't really work out. So instead, I'm gonna leave that off before I try to break it because I'm getting nervous on camera. So I'll do it in pictures, but I just hate trying to do it on camera. Just the angles that I'm at, it doesn't really work out for me. So as we take that off, oh, the thing about the bone gauntlet for the right hand side, you also get 2 sets of bone claws. There's going to be a small protruding point here that sticks out right in the middle. You actually plug this in, and this is how you get your first real bone claw, right? Shout out to Toyark also for doing phenomenal photos that led up to this coming out that made me even more excited. So shout out to Toyark. I appreciate you guys very much. I'm pretty sure Toy Bro is going to be a dope review as well, so I can't wait to see his. Then we have our bone shuriken, which looks like a prehistoric version of a starfish that got fossilized, but this is legit a bone shuriken made of the bones of your enemies, literally. You'll get 2 sets of closed fist. Mine's a little discolored, but you know what? I don't really mind that. It is what it is. He's the Alpha Predator, and he kind of glows. Next up, we have our open staff hand for holding our staff and or sickle, and vice versa. We also have a trigger hand / holding hand. So you can put the shuriken in this one or either one. Kind of have fun and decide on which one you want. But I want to say this figure I'm absolutely excited for. I've had a fantastic time just opening out the box and just trying to get a hang of it, really. And it's just been a blast to not fear of breaking it or, you know, losing anything. This has just been overall next level fun. Gotta say, no cons here. Now, one of the things before I go I want to show you is that you actually get a PS4 code for the skin on Hunting Grounds. I am not going to show you the other side because I plan on using this skin on my PS4 Hunting Grounds. So please go buy the game and support if you like the Predator stuff. Next up, you'll actually get the history. And I'm not going to read it all out loud, but what I will do is that I will take a picture of it so you guys can sit down and read it. And I'll even post it in my Instagram story for you guys to see. There is a long history here. And if you want to pause it, let me zoom out just a little bit in case you want to pause it. And have fun with that, you guys. Ooh, let me just not block out my finger. Now, yeah, enjoy that. Lastly, you'll also get a fold-out poster that also comes with it. And folding it out, I don't think I can even zoom out enough without it looking crazy. But yeah, you'll get a poster of the actual box art. And when you flip around this poster, you actually get a view at all the Predators and Predator stuff that is released so far. This has been utterly fantastic. There's a lot on this list I'm missing too. So Neca, go out and redo everything. Do it with the new plastic. Do it. So yeah, this has been fantastic. Next up, guys, what I'm going to do is jump into the size comparison. So I'll see you in about 2 seconds. All right, guys, we are now nearing the end of the video where I do the size comparisons. We're going to compare it to a bunch of Neca Predator and Alien stuff, and then with some other stuff. So yeah, I want to start with the Kenner Tribute Elder. And you can see that the Alpha is not really much taller than him, but the Alpha, not much, like Predator-wise, are much bigger than him. Then we have stuff like the Golden Angel, which everyone knows I adore the Golden Angel. It's one of my favorites, but Alpha might be taking that top spot. And actually, I need to fix Alpha just a little bit because he was actually hunched in just a tad bit, and I want to make sure I fix that. Shows he's slightly bigger than most other Predators. Actually, he might be the same size as the Kenner Tribute. No, he's a little shorter, just a little bit. But yeah, so that's what he looks like next to these 2 type of Predators. Next up, we're going to compare him to the big armored assassin Predator, whose legs, I always forget that they are kind of weird. Actually, that's not true. They're not weird. I just forgot the name of the type. And as you can see, he's still much smaller than him. But this guy is completely engineered, so that says a lot about how he cheated to get there. It's like steroids for Predators, right? Then we have a Neca Scorpion Alien. He was the closest one I had, so I chose to use him. And as you can see, even though he's still smaller than the Alien, I will say this, he looks fantastic next to these 2 types. Just something about it just works. Next up, I want to compare him to a bunch of other different lines. First being that of Mythic Legions, because I feel like as a ancestor, he would probably work in the land of Mythos, or just in general, overall, look pretty cool with like barbarians and cavemen and things like that. Here we are with a Mythic Legions barbarian with a Kylab set. My barbarian has been worn out. I've been having a lot of fun with him. And as you can see here, scale-wise, looks really nice with these guys as well. Next up, we're going to go with, here's a Marvel Legends Sunfire. So you can get your Marvel Legends on. You never know, right? Enjoy some Marvel Legends. Here is Time Force Red from the Hasbro Lightning Collection. So as you can see, Predator-wise, with human-sized characters, definitely works as well, too. Then we have an Articulated Icons Ninja, because ninjas don't stand a chance against Predators. Or maybe they do. Maybe there should be a comic about that. Ninjas versus Predators. They both use stealth skills. Here is a 1000 Toys Carb Human, my hybrid. Then we have an SH Figure Arts Kamen Rider Kuga. And Kuga is tiny, and against the Predator, he might have a tough time. Thank God for that healing factor he has. Last but not least, we have a Mezco-sized me on a Gomez body. So yeah. Yeah, overall, I think this looks really nice, and this works out pretty well. If you haven't considered getting this guy, hopefully these pictures will change your mind and you will enjoy, because man, have I had fun with him. Easily one of the, if not the best Predator released from Neca. I don't know what's going on behind me, but yeah, it's pretty bad. But yeah, I will say this. Probably the best Neca Predator released, if not the best Predator released to date right now. It's pretty awesome. And for those of you wondering, because I know somebody's going to ask, Cat is right here on the side, just chilling. As always, guys, I hope you found this informative. I'm trying to be in better spirits despite what's going on in the world. And hopefully you can too. Make sure you fight for justice. And as always, please be good, do good, drink your water. Later.